Hello superstars and welcome to your NATS video for today. It is Monday the 22nd of February and I've got the short date there, it's 22.02.2021, and what we're going to do today is we are going to draw 2D shapes and describe them. So before we do this, you should have watched the video discussing all the different shapes and some of the properties of them as well. So what we're going to do now, we're going to have a look at a couple of the shapes and we are going to see about their properties. But before we do that, we're going to look at a little bit about the angles, okay? So let's have a look at those now. Now, everybody panics when we think about angles, and it's not something we need to panic about because angles are actually really, really easy because this thing here helps us. And we've looked at these in class. These are called protractors, if you remember. Now, we've looked at angles before in class, and we've looked at right angles, acute angles, and obtuse angles. And we only did it a little bit, so don't panic too much. And you don't need one of these, because I know a lot of you won't have one of these at home. But you can look at angles and recognise angles just by looking at them as well. So we've got this angle here, and if you look, it looks like an L shape. And it is like a photo frame. You can see the L shape on my photo frame. It is like our Operation Gadget Man book with the L shape. You can see there. There's lots of things around us. A door, a window, many, many different things around us. And this is a right angle, if you remember. Now, a right angle is dead on 90 degrees. And what we're going to do, I'm going to move my protractor here. So you can see this bit in the middle. You can see this little line here. And I'm going to put that in the corner, just there, as you can see. So I started at 0 here, and I go all the way up. And it counts in tens as well to help us a little bit more. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And you can see that this angle is 90 degrees. So it's definitely a right angle. Now, we can see already that this angle below, what's this stone doing? That this angle below here is not 90 degrees. It's smaller, isn't it? And I love this angle. This is one. I don't know what this protractor is doing. There we go. This is one. This is my son's favourite angle, should I say. I don't know how to turn this around now. There we go, silly mister. This is my favourite angle because it's so small and it's so cute. Now, there's a Q in the name, okay? It's called an acute angle and it is so cute and tiny. So that makes you think that it is smaller than a right angle because if you look at it, it is. An acute angle can be like this, just below, smaller than a right angle, or it can be like this, teeny tiny. So I'll just move it back to where it was. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure my right angle just as it was. And you can see 10, 20, 30 degrees. So let's write this down here. I've got an acute angle because it's really cute. And it is, that one is 30 degrees. But your acute angles can be, so I'm writing here, can be from 1 degrees. And it can go all the way up to 89 degrees. Okay, so that is some facts about acute angles. Let's move on to the next one, which is an obtuse angle. See if I can move this. Yes, I can. Hallelujah. So my obtuse angle here. And an obtuse angle is super, super big. It's not like your right angle here on the picture frame or on the book. It's bigger than a right angle. So it's definitely not smaller than an acute angle, it's bigger than a right angle. So I'm just going to write this here. Obtuse angle, okay? And that's just to jog our memories. Now, we know that a right angle is dead on 90 degrees, but an obtuse angle is bigger than 90 degrees, but it's less than 180 degrees, which is all the way across here. So it's half a circle really. It's less than 180 degrees. So let's see if we can measure this one. Let's get it on super carefully. Now it's really important that you're very careful whilst using one of these because you need to see the correct measurements. So I'm counting in tens. I'm not going to count because you can see the numbers. So 120, 130, and it's halfway between 130 and 140. So what do you think that might be, superstars? Halfway between 130 and 140. It's 135 degrees, isn't it? So I'm going to add on here now that an obtuse angle can be from 91 degrees, because 90 degrees is a right angle, isn't it? It can be from 91 degrees or 179 degrees. Okay, because it's bigger than a right angle, but smaller than that straight line, isn't it? So that is just going over some of the angles that we're going to be looking at today. You could have this up, this part here on the video whilst you're doing your work for today, just to jog your memory, okay? So we're going to go back now and we're going to have a quick look at some shapes. So here we are, here are our shapes, and we're just going to quickly go through them and label some of the properties. Now, I'm not going to do all of them because some of these shapes you have today, and that would be cheating, wouldn't it? So, first of all, this one. What shape is this, superstars? This is probably the simplest shape that we know. It is like a football, it is like the end of my air freshener, it is like the end of my pen. It is a circle. So I'm going to write a circle there. Now, does it have any corners? Doesn't, does it? Now, if you remember, we use a posh word for corners, don't we? And that posh word is vertices. So it's got 0 vertices. So I'm going to put the number 0 there and write vertices. Does it have any edges, any sides? Edges is the posh word, the mathematical word. It does have one edge, you're right, but it's a curved edge and it goes one edge all the way around, doesn't it? So I'm going to write one curved edge. Now, does it have any angles in this? It doesn't, does it? So we're going to leave it just like that. Now, the next one. And I'll do this one and then we'll just talk about the other shapes. So this is a triangle. So I'll type in triangle here. Oh, it's not got a capital letter misdone. So I've got a triangle. And what I'm going to look at here is how many vertices it has. So if you remember, a vertices is a posh word for a corner, isn't it? It can be any size corner, just a corner. So if you look here, and I'll get my jazzy pen, I've got one corner here, I've got 2 corners here, and I've got 3 corners here. So yes, it does have vertices. It's got how many? 3 vertices, 3 corners. Now, how many edges does it have? How many sides? Now, on this shape, it's a straight side, isn't it? So how many do you think it might have here? 3? Well, it's got 1, 2, 3. 3 edges. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. And we're going to be looking at the angles. Now, if you look at a triangle, does it have the L-shaped angle, like my photo frame for a right angle? It doesn't, it's got a smaller one. Really, really cute. Can you remember what type of angle that is? It is an acute angle. And the thing is, this shape has got 3 of those, hasn't it? So 1, 2, 3. 3 acute angles. And that's what we're going to be doing for each shape. Now you need, Miss Dunn's forgotten her teeth today. You need to really remember those angles and use that sheet that I showed you before. You can go all the way back in the video to help you with that bit. So let's have a look at another one. So we've got the square, which is a 4-sided shape. And you've got to remember with a square, are all the sides an equal length? That's a tricky one, isn't it? My next one is a rectangle. Now it's got 4 sides, just like a square, but are they equal? Are they not? Who knows? Can you tell me? I then have this shape. It's a bit of a funny looking shape, isn't it? Now this is a 5-sided shape, as you can see, and this is a pentagon. So have a look, vertices, edges, angles, forgot them. But it depends what shapes you're doing, depending on what group you're in as well. Then we have this six-sided shape here, and my six-sided shape is called my hexagon. Okay, now there's other different shapes as well. We've got a hexagon, which is a seven-sided shape. We've got an octagon, eight-sided shape. We've got, this is a really funny one, a nonagon, which is a nine-sided shape. And we've even got a 10-sided shape, which is a decagon. How amazing is that? So if you go onto the class page for today with all your work on, you can see what shapes I would like you to draw. It might be handy if you've got square paper. If not, do not panic. You can just draw them as neatly as you can using a ruler. Please make sure you've got that flat edge. Like I've said in other videos before, if you don't have a ruler, you can use edges of photo frames, you can use edges of books, your parents' phones. There's so many different things with straight edges. So you need to try and make that shape as neat as possible so you can really think about all the different properties of it. Once you've done all your shapes, if you could take a photo and send it to me on Class Dojo, that would be absolutely fantastic, superstars. Now what I'll do just before I'll go, I'll get my angles back up, get rid of my protractor because you don't need that, do you? There you go. So you can use that to help you with your work for today. Okay, superstars, good luck and I'll see you soon. Bye.